Hello and welcome into a Monday night edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks and I'm your lead beat writer for the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. And I'm so grateful to be joining you on this awesome Monday night. As I said, we are just a few days away from a consequential territorial cup game between the Sun Devils and the Arizona Wildcats. We are just about an hour away from Arizona State basketball tipping off the Maui Invitational run that they are set to be on. We are in the midst of Arizona State women's basketball getting off to an undefeated start. The volleyball program won their second consecutive Big 12 championship. Arizona State athletics are in a great spot right now. We've been really harping on that fact a lot as of late. Just not much to say other than it's a good time to be a Sun Devil. It's a good time to be a fan. It's a good time to be an alum of the school. Um, just great leadership from Graham Rossini. Uh, great coaching. Great coaching. There are some absolutely incredible hires that have been made in recent years. The JJ Van Neal and Molly Miller come to mind when we look at really the exceptional hires that have been made. Obviously, Kenny Dillingham, but that's what's going to be the focus of our show. So I wanted to spread the love a little bit here. Um, yeah, that leads me into Arizona State football. I feel like most everybody in the audience knows what's at stake on Friday. We don't even have to discuss the Big 12 implications, but we will briefly touch upon that once again. The Sun Devils, essentially, according to my understanding, just need a win and a BYU loss, and they are in. It doesn't even matter what Utah does. I know there's some conflicting things out about the tiebreaker procedures, and the Big 12 is kind of confusing and hasn't provided much. The Big 12 procedures are kind of confusing. They haven't provided much clarity to the situation, but it's still the probability, no matter what they have to do to reach the title game, the odds are stacked against them because first they have to beat Arizona, and Arizona, in the words of Kenny Dillingham, are playing as good as anyone in college football right now. They have one of the best defenses in all of college football. They have a revitalized quarterback in Noah Fafita who is having an objectively resurgent season. I don't think many people can really argue that. I think that most people look at him and they see a guy that has really come into his own as of late, and he's arguably having a better season right now than he did in their 10-win season 2 years ago. And you look at Arizona's defense, they have the second best defense in the Big 12 at this moment. That is just absolutely incredible. They have a better pass defense than Texas Tech and Utah. That is just something that you have to just tip your hat to. Their run defense is a little more porous. They're around the middle of the pack in run defense. Uh, they allow about 22 points a game, so they're just a little bit ahead of the Sun Devils. No, they allow about 20 points a game, so they're about 3 points better a game than Arizona State is. And we don't really have to do too much discussing about their recent stretch of play. I mean, they absolutely lambasted my bad, Colorado, 52-17. Wasn't even a close game whatsoever. They defeated Kansas. That was a close game, but they bottled up Jalen Daniels, and that's really what started getting my attention. Jalen Daniels, if as you know, I'm a huge fan of. He's playing at an all Big 12 level, and they were able to hold him to one of his worst games of the season. Same with Brendan Sorsby. Brendan Sorsby has struggled a little bit as of late for Cincinnati at quarterback, but Arizona had a great game plan. he had to play from behind again, and he made some fatal mistakes for Cincinnati. And then Sawyer Robertson, they did the same thing. So three quarterbacks in a row, three high level quarterbacks they have forced into subpar games for their standards, and that is just mind boggling to me. Uh, and with Jeff Sims on deck, he is unlike any of the quarterbacks they played in recent weeks, for better or for worse. But Arizona State should have a good game plan. I'm still feeling good about this matchup, and that leads me into discussing the main points that Kenny Dillingham had to unearth in his Monday press conference. So, the main thing that I really got out of it is that he is absolutely, indubitably rooting for Arizona and Arizona State to be in this position on a yearly basis. He recognizes, yeah, they're rivals. We do not have to sing kumbaya with them, but it's very, very beneficial to the Big 12 when both teams are doing good. It's very, very beneficial to the state as a whole when both teams are doing well. And yeah, it creates some vacuum issues. There are going to be more recruiting battles from within the state, possibly even Texas and California between the two programs, but it's not it, the rivalry has been really lopsided. There's only been one close game in the Territorial Cup Series this decade, and a lot of it has been due to one or both programs facing a lot of dysfunction in those specific seasons. This season, both teams are firing on all cylinders. Both teams have a lot to play for. Arizona, I don't think people recognize this. They are two very narrow losses to BYU and Houston away from being 10-1 and actually being in the driver's seat to reach the Big 12 title game. So they aren't slouches in any way, shape, or form. They have a lot to play for. They're looking to reach another 10-win season. And even if they don't, still a successful season under Brent Brennan. As for ASU, still looking to keep the Territorial Cup in Tempe, looking to ride the momentum of another successful season despite a lot of injuries and other roadblocks along the way, and looking to stay in the Big 12 title hunt. And I fully agree with Coach Dillingham that it's the rivalry is better when both teams are in a position to succeed. Makes for more intriguing football. It's just good for the state as a whole. And the other thing that I really got out of it was that he really started talking about how vital it is to continue to get a good crowd out at Mount America Stadium. It's not always easy to. We know the issues that face the Sun Devil program in terms of filling the seats out, whether it's the hot weather during August, September, and parts of October, whether it's a team underperforming. There's a lot of competition for the eyes of people within the Valley. There's a lot of things to do, and the Sun Devils have earned the respect of so many people across the Valley. Seems like at this point that Arizona State is the place to be in the Valley when it comes to football, and it's showing. They have an 11-1 record over the last two seasons at Mount America Stadium. Could be 12-1, and it looks like they're going to sell out this game. It got announced a couple of days ago that they sold it out. First time that an entire home season has been sold out, I believe, ever. It could, at least, if not ever, in several decades. And this is just a testament to the culture that Kenny Dillingham has built. He talked about how it's going to extend into more lucrative business deals, better NIL capabilities, being able to throw that in as a pitch to recruits. We've already seen recruits talk about how impressed they've been by the home environment at Mount America Stadium. And Coach Dillingham knows exactly what to do exactly what strings to pull, and Sun Devil fans should feel very, very fortunate that they're in this position right now. And that's really all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's edition of the Sun Devils Insider Podcast. And I will see you with an episode tomorrow, possibly discussing Arizona State's 2-game run in the Maui Invitational by that point, or possibly what a player or coach said after Arizona State practice tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you then.